But over here, you might need a fur coat because it's too cold. So, for young Pharaoh to understand this, I gotta say this. I'm gonna give you all of the answers. But first I have to talk to the ministers in the nation first. They have to have first right of defense for the minister. They have to have the first right to defend the minister against the allegations. And I have been given the information. This is the information that, because these are the grievances I personally had with Farrakhan. And before I would be willing to offer my hand and work with him, these issues had to be cleared up. My issue was Khalid Muhammad. Yeah, they cleared it up with the facts. I can tell you everything what went wrong with that situation. With Malcolm was the biggest hurdle. I turned Farrakhan down, working with Farrakhan down we could have been doing this 5 years ago. But I was resistant to Farrakhan and working with Farrakhan because of Malcolm. And so in the sacred halls, they brought me Malcolm. And Malcolm thought it was a joke to accuse Farrakhan in his low level of ranking with having an instrumental role in his assassination when he had no juice. And that's the most I can say about that at this point. Now, the next thing is this. Young Pharaoh, you have a powerful voice for the youth and a powerful voice for our people. You have two ways that you can use that voice. You can use that voice to destroy us more with this divide and conquer bullshit. Or you can find some facts and you can get to know some people personally as opposed to attacking them. You can't attack everybody because you'd have no alliances. You have no alliances. You can never break this oppression without making alliances. The Bloods and the Crips got to join together. The Vice Lords and the GDs got to join together. It's written. This is all part of the redemption process. All of this stuff is written about. So as long as we can sit here and bulldog and fight and scratch out with each other, somebody else is spectating. Who is the spectator watching the fiasco of us going at each other's throat and going at each other's head? There's only two positions in this end game, and that's righteous and unrighteous. So we have to determine what side of the coin we're going to be on. We don't have to agree. This is what y'all not understanding. We don't have to agree word for word, letter for letter with anybody's doctrine. The only agreement we need to make is that we tired of the oppression, and whatever it takes to overcome it, I'm with whoever willing to overcome the oppression. When we understand that, we ain't got to fight each other no more, and the oppression will melt off of us. See, now, there's probably some white people watching this, but I'm talking to black people in this video specifically. Let me tell y'all this. White people is waiting on black people in America to say enough is enough without having to get ignorant. In other words, they waiting on us to come with a sensible description of the situation that can be verified through a historical timeline. And by doing this, they already know their position. That's all we have to do. Stop fighting each other and lay the timeline down. Show it to them. It's right there in our face. We've been told history according to the oppressive regime of our oppressor. So, what do? Stop attacking each other. Start working with each other. Young Pharaoh, if you want to be a part of the solution and not a part of the problem, your first order of business should be do a powerful unity video with BNX or with Prince York or any of those guys that's out there trying to wake people up. Y'all have to come together. Y'all are the most powerful voices that's being most misused in our community right now. Y'all are the voice of the African American web, the black web, the Moorish web. Y'all our voice. And as long as y'all fighting each other and chopping each other's leadership down, all y'all doing is adding to the problem. Stop adding to the problem and add to the solution. Let's talk about Dr. Sebi, Nipsey, and Farrakhan dynamic. Young Pharaoh said that he was clout chasing Nipsey because he didn't support Dr. Sebi when Dr. Sebi came to him for some money. Now, there's a reason for that young Pharaoh has no clue. Farrakhan was barred by God, not by man. As was all of us that look like this, that's Grail Kings. We were barred from Look who I got here. You always make me smile when I see
You always make me smile when I see you. Do you hear me?
that's what my boy Rashad called reflections.
Oh. I'm glad I caught you because, and I'm not going to hold you. I just wanted to, first of all, thank you so much. You are really heaven sent, for real, for real. And second of all, how are we dealing as women and raising the matriarchy? How are we supposed to deal with these people that even look like us but aren't us, and moving them
That's the
out?
being.
Right.
Y'all only have to weed out the women. Y'all gonna know them. All of them riding crotch bitches, no good. Y'all know them. They can't get along with no woman, no way.
They can't.
So y'all deal with the women. They can't get along with women.
So what if there's no men around though to deal with someone, especially in a workplace situation that affects kids? And that's the only reason I even care, is because and not to even throw this on to people who even watching, because it's a little bit of a trigger, but there was a young woman. We work with people who are 16 to 25-year-old high school dropouts. So this person was within that age range on the younger side. And longest of long story short, she was pregnant and didn't want to say anything because her uncle had been molesting her, and she wasn't sure whose baby it was, her boyfriend's or hers. And she just didn't want to tell the boyfriend that she was pregnant, point blank period, but she wanted the baby, right? So around the person who's coordinating this, the person who's in charge, is just like, oh, well, we can't really do anything. And I'm just like, what you mean we can't do anything? And they're like, well, she don't want to press charges. I'm like, oh, okay, that's fine. She don't want to press charges, but y'all all know. So y'all like this just like
What
something.
city you in?
You know, I'm in Jersey, in Newark.
It's somebody there. I talk to you offline.
Okay.
It's somebody there that they're gonna send some sisters to talk to her to get her sister protection, and then they're gonna deal with the rest of the matter, how they deal with it.
Okay.
But the first thing they want to do is secure her. They want to get her out of this situation where you got some grown ass man molesting her. It's somebody in Newark. There's some goons in Newark, and if they find out, they're gonna. It won't be pretty for them.
All right.
There's some goons, They on the side of Shakur watch when this shit flip, and she's merciless to molesters. So
For sure. Yeah.
if she get an order, half of Newark gonna be at that motherfucker door. I just got to tell you what's the 100. If she get a word, Asada Shakur get a word, half of motherfucking Orange, New Jersey, motherfucking from New York, Maryland, they gonna be there. Boston, Philly, they coming. Just to deal with one child, they will come from everywhere when she get an order. We trying to get the big fish out the pond first. Then we gonna deal with the little fish at home. Because that secret squirrel shit is what got these kids fucked up right now.
In the first place, exactly.
See, it had got to a point where it was so few good men that hadn't been murdered yet or lynched that the women cherished them so much that it allowed the children to be abused, because the few good men they had, they didn't want him to correct the bad man because the slave catcher gonna come. Right? And when the slave catcher come, they're going to put him on the auction block and sell him into slavery. Slavery today is called prison. They don't want the good man correcting the bad man, because the good man going to be the one doing time. So the women start keeping the shit a secret to try to protect the good man. Fuck that shit. That's what we here for. I go do my goddamn time. I go sit back with my feet up and read a couple more 1,000 books.
Niggas ain't like that. That's why.
That's why I ain't no nigga.
No, I'm just saying, you know. I know that. Said that's why I ain't no nigga. No, that shit
Hey,
pisses
look.
me off though, for real. But yeah.
Yeah. So the situation has to be handled in a particular way. So I have to tell you certain stuff offline. Not because I'm keeping it a secret. It's because the people who you have to contact, they can't be exposed right now, and they really deaf on them on women beaters and child molesters. They get treated like they would in old school penitentiary, especially when it's known to be true, because they've been using a lot of false allegations also to remove the good men and let the bad man stay. So people start accusing the good man of doing what the bad man doing, and then the good man doing time for nothing he didn't do nothing. He's sitting up in jail rotten, while the rotten motherfuckers is sitting out here flourishing and making more rotten fruit. Because mama said one bad fruit spoiled a whole bunch.
Mm. I think that you're absolutely right when you say the men got to handle it. It's just, you know, that part where it is something to consider, especially because the police being involved take it to a different level for everybody. But
you know, my philosophy is fuck the police.
Fuck the police, exactly.
I deal with that nigga myself before I call the police on him. I'm not calling the police on the motherfucker. That's why I be like, fuck all that old, because I was finna get into the shenanigans on some arguing across the internet. I thought about that shit. All them niggas gonna do is call the police.
All niggas gonna do is call the police.
That's what they inadvertently trying to dry snitching, or as it is, trying to call the police. But they trying to get a police evidence the police already got. And they took that and like, nigga, we already know that shit.
Next.
We just not figured that out. But this so I was thinking about it, I was like, shit, because you know, I'm the type of motherfucker, I pull up at a motherfucker spot. I don't got no problem with it. I don't give a fuck if I had to walk from here, from Detroit, Michigan to Phoenix, Arizona to pull up on a motherfucker. And it might take me a year to walk that distance. But I tell you what, when I get there, I'm gonna pull the fuck up. And I'm not coming to argue. I could have did that shit over the internet.
On the phone, right.
Right. So why would I do all that tongue wrestling if we ain't gonna fight? And if we gonna fight, why am I gonna do all that tongue wrestling? I might as well just go and fight. Mm. Right? Because all that tongue wrestling gonna lead to a fight.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of the day.
And then if the tongue wrestling gonna lead to a fight, then I might as well not tongue wrestling. Just cut out the middleman. Cut out the middleman.
So I got one more question. So for men or women who have love interests, relationships, I know we're not technically focusing on thinking with our P's, but we're talking past that. We're talking about growth and development in all types of relationships, even with people you have, you know, children with and stuff like that, and trying to just elevate, even if it's just, you know, a co-parenting type of thing. That, and women going through that as we raise the matriarchy. What is that looking like?
Okay. You kind of like paused for a minute and I kind of lost track of the question.
Summed it up, because men and women who are not together, but like still have to coexist with each other, not thinking with their P's.
Yeah. So most of them in the hostile relationships, in the matriarchy, when the two parents can't talk civilly to each other about the child and make competent civil decisions about the child, then both of the mothers have to come up with the solution between the family elders on both sides of the family. No side left out. But the individuals that can't get their act together, they ain't got no say. Mm-hmm. They too busy doing, 3D shit. Mm-hmm. Thinking with their D's and their P's. Right? So as long as they doing that, but if, let's say one of them is trying to do the right thing and they fighting the other one, and the other one is just trying to be in control, when you present the matter to the elders on both sides, they come up with a solution that's in the interest of the child. They don't give a fuck about their parent. Because sometimes the solution requires the grandparents to take the child from both parents. And both grandparents is going to agree because it's in the best interest of the child. And that's how come Big Mama House always got so many kids. And so many aunties always work there.
It was some women who, it was a young girl at my mom's job who gave her baby away to diapers, to Child Protective Services, but nobody knew. The dad didn't know and the grandmother didn't know, and it was because she didn't want to. It should just be crazy. And the shit that people deal with, like on a, just even hearing these stories, I don't, like I said, I don't be meaning to put this on people, but what you just said is like true. But
so in the case where the because it's gonna be, it's a lot of cases right now, like you said, where the men don't even know he got a child.
mm-hmm.
Right? So in cases like that, her family still got to hold her accountable. Right? And take her ass on Maury, take all 725 of them niggas you fucked up till you find that baby daddy. And sometimes you gonna find the baby daddy out of that 725 niggas she was fucking because he's somebody closely related to her that she don't want to tell on. Or she, you know, she already suspected, she might not know it, like the situation you mentioned earlier, she don't know if it's her boyfriends or uncles. Mm-hmm. That shouldn't even be a motherfucking question in her mind. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because that question exists, that means something is out of order. Mm-hmm. Right? So she'd probably take 50 innocent motherfuckers on Maury before she took her uncle. Mm-hmm. And everybody come back, he is not the father. He is not the, like, goddamn. And then we in our ignorance, not knowing what's going on, mm-hmm. don't know why she can't figure out who her baby daddy is. Shit, it might be her goddamn daddy's baby. You never know.
Let's come in. Maybe some guys or something, I don't know. But we'll talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A question, it's a good question popped up. It say, how do one seek and commit to a tribe if they have no living close relatives or kinfolks to reach out to? So those are called orphans on the land. And they pick, the tribe that picked them is the tribe they gonna pick. You will know them because those are the people you with every day. Spending your time with, giving your love energy to. Right? So one of the things we teach the children under a matriarchy is be careful who you give your love energy to. Because if you give it to the wrong person, it'll drain you. Because they only have bad intentions for you, but they held secret places in their dark hearts. Mm. But the ones that, when you are orphan, the ones who are that you draw to, you natural affinity to, the earth, humans pack animals. The frequency of the earth is going to move us to the pack that is ready to receive us as an orphan. So this is how you end up in South Central with an all-black Crips gang, and here you got a white boy in there. Where the fuck he come from? He got his one drop of blood, and nature sent him there. She sent him there to prove his one drop of blood qualification, because if the brothers in his neighborhood accept him, he ain't going to betray that trust. That's that drop of blood that makes him not betray that trust. He don't give a fuck how many racists tell him he should be racist. It don't fit in his paradigm if he got that one drop of blood, because them is his brothers. He don't see their color. He only see his tribal colors. That's it. And this is how you know, and you gravitate towards your tribe, even when you don't know where your tribe at. You look around, and the people that give you love freely just because they feel like it, right? And they love you just because it's free. I can love you for free. Come on over here and get some of this love. Come to the barbecue. We love to see you there. You get to the barbecue, they treat you like you've been a special member of the family the whole time.
Like, hey, cousin.
Right? And, yeah, and you ain't never seen these people a day in your life. And they treating you like gold. Why they treating me so good? This your tribe, motherfucker. They glad to see you brought your ass back home. At least that's what they used to tell me when I get there. I know you folks, but you rock with the Stones, man. Come on, folks. You can rock with the Stones today.
So video was when you said you be flipping just to throw